wait for it to come live or give me a notification so I can actually log into the YouTube thing. Well, I'm logged into YouTube, but I have to get the notification so that the damn today's live stream pops up.
Here we go. All right. Let's do that. That. And there we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. We're running a little behind this morning. Sorry about that. Family obligations couldn't get out of, unfortunately. So,
Hey, what can you do, man? Good help is hard to find.
good help is really hard to find. It really is. Uh, what do we got this morning? Well, not a lot, but why don't we go over the weekend we had first and go from there? Did you do anything interesting this weekend, Tony?
Uh, no.
Awesome.
The end of the month for me, man. I'm broke.
Yeah, awesome. The other night, on Saturday night, AWAG and one of his friends came over, and we did some night vision shooting because they had night vision optics. And so, we did some night shooting. We got a little bit of video on that on AWAG's channel. So, if anyone wants to watch that, go check that out. I also posted it on my Night Strike community page. So, there's that. Vanessa Kitty's out there saying hi. Good morning, Vanessa Kitty.
There we go. Finally.
Yeah, we're finally getting some people. Yeah. So that's what happened the weekend for me. I didn't pick anything new up, unfortunately, but hey, that's how it goes. The prices right now, I'm not picking anything up.
I wouldn't even consider it. I mean, I know a lot of people are in panic, but I suppose if you're going to become a gun owner, you do what you do.
Yeah. Vanessa Kitty says early watch Connecticut here. All right.
I know who she is.
What? She's letting everyone else know.
Well, she let it know the other day, so that's how I remember.
Vanessa, I posted this on my YouTube channel a couple times, so I think I'm gonna post this one again. So, people know.
She was in here last Monday.
Well, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
I don't notice. That's my problem.
That's why I sit here and watch the YouTube chat, because somebody should.
Definitely. So, all right. Shit. What am I? What else was I supposed to be doing? That's right. Posting it on the other channel. That's what. All right. Do that. Vanessa, don't get me started on the Supreme Court. So,
Well, they're at this point probably our last hope, although there's a little hope in the Senate too.
After what's happening with the with the Texas lawsuit, pretty much any right we have is pretty much out the window. It means because that the Supreme Court throwing that out says, it says states can go and ignore the Constitution. So, okay.
I don't know, man. I'm not that well informed on the whole thing right now.
I know it just pisses me off. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It's just when the government makes arbitrary rulings like that, it's just so you don't want anyone to follow the law, even though we've had it for years.
Every ruling they make is arbitrary.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's just the nature of the Supreme Court. That's the whole reason they were fucking put there. Just because you may disagree with certain rulings, that's just the nature of the court.
Right. But the problem is on this ruling, they set every state up so every state can violate the Constitution. It's called precedence.
The precedent for states controlling the elections has been long standing. They do not have to elect who is voted in by the public. They can vote whoever they want. The college can. In most states, or a fair number of the states, if not all, the state gets to decide who them electors vote for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
We've been in pretty much an authoritarian dictatorship for goddamn since Kennedy was killed.
Yeah. Vanessa, I'm not one for causing a fuss, but read that page from the Texas Republican Party on the lawsuit. It's pretty cut and dry. It's just happened over the weekend. I'm going to screen share this. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I know I hate talking about politics too, but it's really fucking serious. Because here, the Supreme Court, in tossing out the Texas lawsuit, was joined by 17 states and 160 U.S. congressmen, have decreed that a state can take unconstitutional actions and violate its own election law, resulting in damaging effects on other states that abide by the law, while the guilty state suffers no consequences. This decision establishes a precedent that says states can violate the U.S. Constitution and not be held accountable. This decision will have far-reaching ramifications for the future of our constitutional republic. Perhaps law-abiding states should bond together to form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution.
All right. The issue with this, the issue is there's
of our constitutional republic. Perhaps law-abiding states should bond together to form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution.
all right. The issue Let's try this again now that I muted the damn volume.
Okay,
Uh,
that's what the word was.
the issue with this particular suit is that there's no basis for their claims of damage yet.
Well, once Biden takes office, here's your claim right there.
But it hasn't happened yet. You can't penalize for crime that's not occurred yet. That's why the Supreme Court ain't doing it. Because it's based on assumptions right now that may be absolutely on spot on.
We're gonna be in for a rough ride.
I firmly believe that the mail-in votes are unconstitutional.
I believe those mail-in votes were fraudulent because they're all for Biden. There was not a single one for the third party or Trump. And I don't believe that there wouldn't be at least the same amount, or at least a couple for Trump or a third party candidate, depending on what state you're in and whose name is on the ballot.
There's lots of people that mailed in for Trump. I know several.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that voted for Trump too, and it's just there's no way there's no way on this God-given earth that it would have just been for one candidate only and nobody else, because that seems really fucking odd. Just for one candidate and no votes for anybody else. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
Well, I think it's not true. There's so much fucking bullshit that's out there about this whole damn thing. Now, as far as do I believe Biden got more votes than Obama did? Fuck no. But, what the hell you do? We're in the boat that they were in 4 years ago. There's absolutely no way that fucking Trump could ever win, and he did. This is part of the shit we get into when we're communicating inside a freaking echo chamber.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the uproar if they turn this over and Trump stays in office?
You know what? I can. But again, if they try, if that does happen, just activate the Insurrection Act. Anybody that tries to burn cities down or burn any property down, just arrest them under the Insurrection Act, because that's what it's there for.
So those who oppose our ideals, we should just fucking kill.
No, arrest. Different.
What the fuck's the difference? Why would we want to support them when we could just spend $1 worth of bullet to kill them?
Because it's inhumane.
No, it ain't. Putting the fuckers in a goddamn cage for years and years and years is inhumane.
Yeah, but they want to blame that on Trump instead of Obama.
Besides, it's those that are getting put in the cages who oppose the death penalty. Our side don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks the way it's going, but you can't have it both fucking ways. Did we question Trump winning? Yeah, I guess so, because it's like unbelievable. But did we want votes counted and shit? Hell no. Or recounted, I should say.
I
And
guess
honestly,
I
I
guess
would have been.
the issue is the fact that you know what's going on. This only proves that the next person's not going to get a fair shake either.
Well, I think that uh, what is going to happen, I hope, is that the midterms are going to change to make both parts of the Senate Republican, which normally does happen in elections. Is this the return of the famous early watch show? Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. I mean, you're about 2 episodes late, but hey, we're not judging.
Kitty, that's exactly what I'm getting at. We can't, get authoritarian with half the friggin' population, even though they're potentially committing crimes.
I don't know. I think rioting and looting is covered under the Insurrection Act.
But is the Insurrection Act constitutional? Is the three strike rule unconstitutional?
Hmm. These are all good questions, and I have no answers whatsoever.
I have a fairly analytical mind, and I have to weigh both sides.
All right, well, that's good because you got questions. I have no. I've got questions. I have no answers, but you've got ideas or answers. I'm not sure. It's one of the two.
Good morning, Outcast. Good morning, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Hey, hey, Rob.
Thing is, aside from tossing off a litany of executive decisions, there's not a hell of a lot Biden's going to be able to do because they don't have control of the Senate. It takes all three to be in agreement for shit to get done, pretty much.
Sadly, that's how it's been for a long while, hasn't it?
Well, the majority rules thing, I think the best answer to that is city states, making New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston a separate state. And I have thought this for years.
What are we, ancient Greece?
What we are is an area where 4 towns are controlling the country.
Yeah, that shit has to stop. Especially if you look at the map of the country, the map that was blue versus the map that was, red, and almost the whole goddamn country was red, except for those four or five cities, which those assholes never leave their city. Yet they want to dictate. They want to dictate for the entire country. I'm sorry, it just shouldn't work like that. We'll move on. Okay. We'll move on. We'll move on.
I'll tell you, I have a solution for this whole damn thing. that is a simple concept, although it would be a bit of a pain to work out. And that's give every county in this country one electoral vote.
You want to stack the Electoral College, not the Supreme Court.
Well, why the hell should my county be privy to what Cook County wants?
This is true. I don't know why.
Honestly, I don't know how to fix it. I mean, the cities are so populated. The whole idea of a democratic republic is, God, really made shaky by that fact.
It is. It is.
I don't think the founding fathers, even though they had highly populated areas, would envision so many votes in so few areas.
Yeah, and you can't have more votes than the amount of people that live in the county.
Kitty, that is not exactly correct. I mean, let me rephrase that. What they wanted initially was property owners to vote. So only people who owned property could vote. Now, I don't think they did that, but that was, I don't know, I got so much shit that I've read over the past few years on it from the Federalist Papers and shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to give enough edge out the lying regions until the states had absolute control over it. I don't know, man. We're looking at a bad path.
We
no
are.
matter what.
Apparently, Early Watch Michigan's out there. Who was that again? Was that Patriot?
Yeah, Patriot in the Dark, so to watch Michigan.
Yeah.
I think.
There we go. Yeah, that's unfortunately that's right, Vanessa. But also look at the 1792 Militia Act. Technically, that only applied to white males.
Wait a minute. Now, the whole white male thing is,
it's got a little out of context.
Well, the thing is what I was getting at with that was it limited the number of voters in any given area because most of the people in the cities didn't own stuff. They were tenants, and it kind of leveled the playing field as far as the votes from the cities to the votes from the non-city areas country. Take care, Jason.
Later, Jason.
And that's what I was getting at. There was a little bit of a leveling effect by how they did that or how they wanted to do that.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that we should do that today, but at some point, we're going to all lose because the cities are just going to be so populous. That all of us outside of any cities are going to have no voice.
Yeah, and at that point, what the hell were we doing? Right? Early Watch Michigan says if you owned a huge farm business and had a ton of workers, then you could control their vote. Yeah, I wish. Yeah. No one's arguing. No one's arguing with that, Vanessa.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know how to answer the fact that there's so many people crowded into areas that can control so much. I don't know.
Early Watch Michigan says you can tell it's me. Dictation likes to drop spaces, and robots don't like me much. Well, I guess that robotic girlfriend didn't work out for you.
I don't know. I've seen some movies lately on robotic girlfriends that actually look pretty appealing as long as you don't drop her in freaking wet floor.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, so we got some news coming out of Illinois. Did you see that? So, Tony, apparently Illinois is leading the way for gun sales in 2020.
Well, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Imagine how many guns in Illinois might have Illinois residents might have bought in 2020 if the Illinois State Police hadn't been dragging its feet on the FOID card processing all year long. Who is buying these guns? A New York Times analyst shows that the buyers cut across almost all demographic groups. Gun ownership has continued to be a flashpoint across the country as the debate about who should own a gun and what kinds of guns should be lawful continues, as it has for decades. The rise of gun sales from 2019 to 2020 is not an anomaly. The number of gun sales has increased most years since 1999. At the current pace, 2020 sales will reach over 38 million. Sales first topped 25 million in 2016, 20 million in 2013, 15 million in 2011, and 10 million in 2006. The first full year the FBI kept data was 1999, when sales were 9,138,123. Ready gun.
2016 number. I may have been somewhat responsible for some of that.
So was I.
You ain't in Illinois, so you don't count.
No, but I was part of that gun sales. They're talking, they're talking total gun sales, not just in the state. Okay. This is overall gun sales.
See, the thing that they put into place is for the concealed carry and the FOID is that when they expire, as long as you have your receipt that you paid to renew it, it still counts. So, it's like you.
Wow, Vanessa. Wow. Okay. I'm going to continue on with this. The rate of gun sales is by no means uniform from state to state, nor is the growth level. Among all states, Illinois has posted the highest sales throughout November by far.
Patriots answered that too. Illinois gun sales are up from all those Indiana guys buying them back.
Ooh. Yeah, by 6.625 million. So about 6,625,082. That's the exact number. It's 19% of U.S. gun sales in 2020. Although the state has less than 4% of the nation's population, by a similar measure, sales in California this year are relatively low at 1.4 million, which is 4% of the national figure. Almost 12% of Americans live in California. Yeah, well, that's their problem.
So,
Actually, that's not entirely true that the California gun sales aren't up. California gun sales are up. I know this because I know a California gunsmith.
so Kitty, is that a premonition that Biden may not survive long?
Possibly.
Just curious. I mean, you know.
I don't think she's going to make any predictions that want to have to be right.
Well, my missus is super concerned that he's not going to survive long and Harris is going to become president because my old lady hates Harris.
Yeah, a lot of people hate Harris. Because if that happens and she takes office, yeah, you're gonna see a civil war. Because she's gonna try and pull and push through everything she's got. Everything every awful thing she's done. In California, she's gonna want to apply it to the rest of the country. And you know how the rest of the country is. They don't like doing things that California does.
Yeah, and they will sit on their asses at Facebook bitching. And that'll be the extent of what most of them do.
Sadly.
I don't like either of them either. But I mean, my old lady's got a serious hatred for Harris.
The only reason they would kill Biden off the Democratic Party or anybody else would be just to get Harris to be sworn in as president, so that the Democrats could say we've got the first female president. That's the only reason.
That ain't the why, though. The why is so they can have their uber leftist in charge. Now, Biden, he might run his gums, but he hasn't really shown much in the 40 years he's been in office. So, what makes you think that the next four are going to be any different?
Yeah, I know.
And, like I said, they have to have the House and the Senate to be able to do anything beyond executive orders.
All right, Vanessa's making a prediction here. She's making the prediction that Biden will serve his term.
I can't believe this is going to come out of my mouth, but I hope so.
Well, that is if he doesn't break his foot, I don't know, walking the dog again. Erstwhile, we mentioned it earlier this morning, yes. We mentioned the exact page, in fact. If you haven't read it yet, I'll post it again out there for you, Erstwhile. But yeah, I don't think Texas or anybody's going to do anything yet, but it's not pretty.
Yeah, if we lose control of Congress, we are screwed.
Yeah.
Although, when Obama got elected the first 2 years, he had House and Senate both and didn't do shit. I mean, as far as anti-gun stuff and shit like that, because they had we got to pass the bill to read it.
Yeah, Well, they're a little smarter now. They'll just fast track it without telling anyone, just so they can get their stuff through. Unfortunately, so let's see. Where was that post? It's over here. There. First, well, check this link out. I know there's a delay, so I'll wait. But there you go. That's the one you're referencing. And he's not outright saying secession. He's just saying that states should create that states that are part of the lawsuit should create a union that follows the Constitution instead of ignoring it like some states do.
That would be secession.
But he didn't use the word secession. That's the thing. I know it's semantics. I understand that.
I don't know.
I
I
don't know
hate
either.
to see it, but it comes down. Biden steps in office. The Supreme Court is our last line of defense. And if the Democrats get to take over Senate, that they're going to screw that for us too, because they're going to pack the court.
Yeah, there's no good outcome, however you look at it. So that's just what we're dealt with.
I ain't following that outcast. Kitty, that is a good talking point, but I'm afraid that people are too comfortable to get off their ass and go out and risk their lives.
Yep. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to go to jail or prison. So obviously nobody's going to stick their neck out for anybody else. Sadly. Rob's like, I'd rather give the problem people the boot. Yeah. I'd rather give the problem people the boot too, but the problem is it's not always an option, unfortunately.
Yeah, but who's the problem people?
This is a good question. Who is
That
the problem people?
that depends on which side of the equation you sit on.
It's all based on perspective. So
The thing with the pro-gun side is that we have proven that we're not a danger to people. Now, as far as rising up against tyrannical government, I don't know. I don't know if we have enough will to do that or not. I don't think so. Leastwise, not until people start starving in mass.
starving people, that's not good. I don't support any starving people. There's no way out. All right. NY Outcast saying we should use the system to fix the system. Yeah, I'd like to know how to do that.
Well, going back to the starving thing, what if the left got everything they wanted? The money would run out pretty damn quick. I mean, they don't seem to realize that there's honestly a finite amount of wealth in the
Finite.
world.
Yes. So,
I don't know how many businesses are going to go belly up. A lot of them have. And here in Illinois, it's pretty crappy.
I predict there'll be a whole lot more too.
We're coming into winter, and businesses are not allowed to have customers inside. Businesses that serve stuff like bars and restaurants and whatnot, and movie theaters. And, of course, the vaccine's out now, so we'll all be saved. Except for it ain't going to get around to everybody for probably 6 months.
Yeah, I don't need the vaccine. I'm already immune.
I ain't going to take the vaccine even if I end up dying because I don't. Fuck that. Everybody dies eventually. Yeah, there's been a lot of people that were doing itty bitty small business things. Like somebody doing a little bakery or a little ornament craft type shop things that just they were not allowed to open at all. And, they can't continue paying their rent and their utilities on a business property, so they're gone.
Same here. It's sadly like that everywhere right now.
Walmart's still raking in the dough, though.
Well, Walmart's a major corporation. They kind of, they kind of plan for emergencies such as this. You know that because they're so large, they can account for this.
There's no real accounting. I mean, they're still selling shit.
Yep.
There's other grocery stores and whatnot around Kroger still doing. I mean, I kid you not. I went into Kroger a day or two before Thanksgiving to pick up just a couple of things, pie crust, shit like that.
Right.
That store was fucking packed. And I'm like, my God, you could not maintain 6 foot of distance. There wasn't enough room in the store.
Right. But people went in anyways.
It baffled the shit out of me.
You've probably never seen so many people in your life.
I think I went out one Black Friday years ago.
Okay. Almost.
Did that once and said, this is fucking stupid. I ain't doing this anymore.
Right.
Save $22 on a TV and deal with this shit? No. Actually, the Black Friday thing was, I'm sure, to buy a glowworm.
Yeah.
For my youngest.
Did you ever get it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, there wasn't a ridiculous rush on the damn things. that I expected because they've been out for years. My eldest had one, and the other two had gotten one, and the youngest just going to get one anyway. So I went when I went. I mean, I don't know why the hell I picked that day. I don't think I thought about it. Walk off some of the freaking calories I took in the day before, maybe.
Right.
I don't. They're on the news talking about this vaccine being 95% effective. And that ain't what I've seen put out by the damn drug company. They were talking more in the 40s.
Here it's 70 or 80% effective.
And you got to question that. How in the hell
Yeah.
the first time out they can get that kind of effectiveness when they can barely get 40% for flu shots?
I don't think they really have that for effectiveness. I think they're just trying to make people feel better. So
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see what takes place. I mean, 30% effectiveness is better than nothing. I'm willing to admit that. But if that is the case, then the only way we get protected is a better vaccine or more people get it. And believe me, it's very likely if I get it, it'd kill me. Yeah, Outcast, they do have a shot for that too. It's called heroin. What the hell you think all them free needle programs is about?
They're not necessarily free. Maybe pinched, but not free.
Oh, there's numerous cities that give out free needles.
I don't understand why you would.
Well, the idea is to prevent the spread of AIDS and hepatitis. That was the initial idea. They said.
That's
Now,
what they said.
The the thing of it is that it basically okays something that's not okay.
Yeah.
Of course, now they have Narcan, so you don't have to worry so much about overdosing.
Let's see. What else is out there? Okay. Vanessa Kitty is just talking about the viruses. Okay.
Yeah, that the mutations are kind of part of why there's questions about how effective this vaccine can be. That's what I said. And I'm not saying that it worked. I'm saying that that was the talking point of it.
Yeah, no one's arguing that.
Hey, pomade.
Pomade's out there? All right. We got a party now.
There's a lot of things in this country that are a little easier to figure out what's right and wrong in hindsight.
Well, you know, they say about
Just the way it
hindsight,
is.
it's 2020. And when I mean 2020, you know, hindsight is 20. It is pertaining to vision, not the year 2020. Just people listening out there.
If you listen to many politicians, hindsight is not 2020.
It's probably much worse, right? So, New York Outcast says the shot shouldn't be an issue if they want it. So, if they want it, so be it. They should be protected from the ones that don't. That don't. Right. So, what's the problem? The current published effectiveness of the current Pfizer vaccine is said to be 95%. That's what Vanessa says.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah,
I can't think. I saw somebody on the Today Show saying that that was a mistake, but I don't know. This has been several weeks ago.
Yep, I haven't gotten any emails, so there's that. Oh, I should probably check the other account. Make sure.
First thing I do when the computer comes on is go through both my email accounts.
Just showing me who subscribed to me. That's it. Other than that, no emails, no news, no nothing.
I actually think that I had corona a couple weeks ago.
You might have.
I had a fair number of the symptoms, but I ain't going into a damn hospital to get checked because if I don't have it, I don't want it.
Right. I had it earlier.
I ain't hugely at risk from a hospital because my old lady works in one. But I spray her with Lysol when she comes home, so I'm good.
Does that work?
If I had it, evidently it don't.
Well, we tried. We tried.
Shingles, boy, there's a son of a bitch.
You've had shingles?
Oh, yes. When I was about 24, I cannot tell you how painful that was.
Huh. I haven't had shingles.
Count yourself lucky.
Yeah, I am.
And, unlike how it affects some people, I just had one spot right on right at the edge of the spine on my back. And it felt like somebody had shoved a knife through my back. I was in agony. And I went to a doctor, and he gave me some pain pills and muscle relaxers. and it didn't do shit. Then I went to a different doctor, an old doctor, and he said, "Well, hell, you got shingles. I ain't fucking gonna help that." Like, well, you got me there, doc. I know it don't help because I've tried it. He said it'll go away in a little while. He's right. And I ain't had it since, thank God.
You haven't, huh?
Nope. Just one time. I think it went on for a couple of weeks. And I'll say I had to work anyway. And man, that was horrific.
I bet it was.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I might. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Seriously. And you know, some people get them that go all the way around their abdomen. And if that all hurt like my back did, I don't know how the hell people could stand it.
I don't understand either.
Take care, Outcast.
Later, Outcast. All right, there's that. Sounds like you got a phone call.
All right, hang on. I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see here.
I don't recognize your number. Don't fucking call me.
Here, let me call you.
I would do the same thing. Swipe down. I don't recognize your number.
Yeah, you probably don't.
This one was a 515 area code. I don't know where 515 is or anybody who has it. So it's most likely an extended car warranty outfit calling.
515 is Iowa, middle of Iowa.
I'm like, I'm driving a 1999 Suburban with 225,000 miles on it. I don't think you're going to warranty that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So don't waste my. I can't believe this fucking microphone picked that phone up and it doesn't pick up the TV right behind it. That phone is 6 feet away up on a bookshelf.
That's great. Admit it, that's funny. Because it really is.
Sorry to hear that, Vanessa. I really
Yeah.
am.
Sorry, Vanessa.
So what's going to be your next gun?
Who, me?
Yeah. Or anybody in the chat can answer it too.
Yeah, anyone in the chat. Answer what your next gun's going to be. Personally, I'm trying to find a used M1 carbine right now.
I'm trying to steer the conversation away from, all the shit I'm going as I'm sliding towards death.
Yeah, no, everybody is.
Yeah, well, I'm a little farther down the freaking slope than you are.
I know you are. I know you are. And I'm sorry that you are. That's all I can say. You know.
Uh, so far as I know, I think the only thing I'm allergic to is poison ivy.
That's about, well, for me, it's poison ivy and what's it, amoxicillin and penicillin.
I'm
It's really the only thing I'm allergic to.
horrifically allergic to poison ivy.
Yep.
Yes, Kitty. Slippery slope to the grave. And me, having had 7 heart attacks, I'm on a steeper slope than most.
Okay. Yesterday's pomade says, I'll say it again. I beat C19er with tuberculosis. I can't imagine it. It's as serious as we're told. Well, tuberculosis is nothing to scoff at.
Well, if I actually had it here a couple weeks ago, then I don't believe it's as bad as they say neither. Because while I was terribly sick, it was only 3-4 days.
Right.
Next gun. I don't know if I could find it and have the money at the same time, which has been a little difficult lately.
That's rare. Yes.
I would be looking for a Winchester 94-22. That
Ooh.
actually is my holy grail gun. I had one 20 years ago, and when I started having all these fucking heart attacks, I sold it. And I have regretted it ever since. All the other guns that I sold, I don't give a shit about. That one gun.
That's the Winchester that's in 22, right?
Yes. It's a lever action 22.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those before.
It's the only one I've ever had in my life that fit me like it was made for me.
Right.
Had I had any clue where them bastards were going to go price wise, I wouldn't have sold mine. Not have bought as many of them as I could put my hands on for the $300 a piece they were going for back then. I bought myself a Browning because I couldn't find a Winchester, and I paid dearly for that. That thing was $650. And it's not right. I mean, I like the gun. The gun's fine, but it's not the same as the Winchester.
Apparently, Vanessa Kitty says, I handled the Henry side loaders last month. The 44 shall be coming home soon at this point.
I got a 44 Marlin.
Yeah, good luck trying to find a Marlin these days. They're out of stock. They're not being made right now.
Yeah, well, there'll be people out there that are unloading them, but they're not going to be $700 like mine was.
Right.
And that 4570, there's going to be something that if Ruger doesn't pick up and continue making, it's going to become worth a fucking shitload of money.
Yep. No arguments here.
I like the Marlins. I have the 44 Magnum version, and I also have the 4570 Cowboy with the 26-inch barrel, octagon. It's a gun that I have absolutely no use for, but I wouldn't get rid of it for nothing. Of course, I'm in a position now where I'm not getting rid of any guns until it's time for them to go to the grandkids.
I'm not getting rid of any guns right now either. I tried to get some money off an AR I had, but nobody wanted to pay below. Nobody wanted to pay current market value prices, and I'm not like I'm not gonna give it away for what I got it for. So no.
I have the Ruger Super Blackhawk Hunter that I'm not overly attached to, and it was the first 44 I bought, but it's so goddamn heavy that I don't know that I'd take it hunting. The Smith & Wessons are lighter, and I can shoot any of them equally as well.
Right.
But I don't plan to get rid of it. I mean, if the Winchester came along and I could use it as a trade-in on them, I might.
They're getting after you, yeah.
Yeah, hang on, I'll be right back.
So, as far as we know out there, the next gun yesterday Pomade wants to buy is the Meat Eater Series Weatherby. Many chamberings available, but I want an 06 or a 300 Win Mag. So does that mean you want 30-06? Yeah.
Actually, I don't go into rifles with the word Magnum attached to them.
The word what?
Magnum. No 300 Magnum, none of that shit. I shot a 458 Winchester Magnum rifle once.
That must have been enough for you.
And I'm like, there is no fucking way that I would ever shoot this son of a bitch a second time.
Right.
And I can't kill it with a 30-06. I ain't going to hunt it.
And he yesterday Pomade says, yep, 30-06. Hey. Honestly, yesterday's Pomade, you're better off with the 30-06 over the 3-Win Mag. So good luck finding ammo for either right now.
Hey, Mikey.
Finally, part of the Mike Militia finally shows up.
I actually prefer the 25-06 for the hunting I can do around here, but
yeah, talk about another caliber you can't find right now.
You can probably find 25-06.
Can you?
It's not really super renowned cartridge for tactical dudes, which is where all the fucking ammo is going. Or the first time buyers.
Well,
no, 458 Win Mag ain't fun to shoot. That's bullshit. Now, granted, I shot son of a bitch in a t-shirt. But for a week, I had black and blue shoulder. Never again. Although I got to admit, this 4570 is about as bad. Or at least, that's my memory. That could have changed a lot being, 24 when I shot the 458 and way older than that with the 4570. Actually, that 4570 has kind of a different recoil impulse.
Yeah, the 4570, I shot yours and it was like a mule. It kicked like my 12 gauge.
Take care, kitty.
Bye, Vanessa. We'll see you later.
the push on the 45-70 is a little slower.
Yeah, I get that too. It's not as instant.
But as far as I know, no, I was going to say it's the first gun that ever nearly knocked me on my ass, but that wasn't true. I had a double barrel 12 gauge when I was 14 that I inadvertently pulled both triggers on. That one knocked me on my ass.
Yeah, yesterday's pomade says I shot in a t-shirt too. It was a Ruger bolt gun. So a bolt gun at 458. That's not bad. I mean, it's it's going to be better than I guess what Tony was thinking. What you were thinking, lever action?
No, it was a freaking bolt gun.
It's a bolt gun. Okay.
700. I bought the damn thing. So I was trying it, and there's no goddamn reason for me to have one here. I can't hunt anything with. I mean, granted, I can shoot rabbits and squirrels and coyotes, fox, but 458 Win Mags, tad much for that.
Huh.
Well, I am more like 5'10" and 150 pounds. Actually, I think I'm about 160. But back then, I was probably 135, 140 pounds when I was that young.
Probably knocked you on your ass then.
No, I wasn't shy of recoil. I had a 3 point something or other pound Franchi 12 gauge semi-auto that was one of the hardest kicking shotguns I've ever seen in my life, and I played with that thing all the time. Wish the hell I had that now, because that thing's probably worth 10 grand.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the hell it was. It was made out of, there was aluminum and magnesium or something or other in it.
Yeah, yesterday Pomade is saying he's also not a small fellow, over 6 feet and 250-pound range. Oh man. Ozzy out there saying any rifle round with 3 numbers and starts with a 4 or more is not going to be easy. Laugh out loud.
Especially if it ends in magnum.
Yeah, especially if it ends with that.
Although I got to say that that's not exactly accurate, because 44 Magnum is not bad. I could shoot 44 Magnum all damn day long. In the rifle.
Right.
2 boxes is about all I can handle in a handgun. Of my specialty hunting modes, that is.
Better 2 boxes than no boxes, right?
I could shoot some bitch all day long with the cowboy action loads.
Nice.
Well, until I couldn't lift the gun anymore.
Well, you do what you can.
Oh, shit.
Shit is right.
I was sitting here racking my brain thinking, is there any guns that I really want aside from that Winchester? There's not. There's freaking nothing out there. I wouldn't mind having one of those Ruger, the 22 LR version of the Super Blackhawk Hunter. I can't think of what it's called.
Any semi-auto handguns you're looking at?
Nope.
Okay. Any other revolvers you're looking at?
Well, that Ruger I just mentioned.
Well, besides that one.
Nothing I want. I mean, I've got 5 44 Magnum revolvers. Uh, there's a couple of 22s here. There's 138. There's nothing out there that I have much interest in these days.
Right.
But you have to realize that the revolvers that I currently have, along with the rifles and shit, it was I won't say well thought out, but it was a extensively thought out set of guns to collect. There was reasoning for each one of them. And, I'm going to try to buy a few more Marlin Model 60s when Ruger finally starts making Marlins or whatever, so they're not at a ridiculous premium.
So you'll have to wait a little while.
Or buy ones that need repair and fix them. I mean, there's Marlin's pretty simple. Although it's a son of a bitch to get the damn hammer spring back on it if you don't use the pin.
Believe it. No arguments here.
Well, it's hard to kind of fathom until you see it.
I get that.
And I look inside a lot of these guns and you think to yourself, how in the fuck did they design this?
The same way they designed everything else.
But I mean, like in the Marlin, there's the elevator spring or the shell lifter spring, whatever the hell you want to call it. Also, the other, it's a kind of wide coil with a V. One side of it lifts the elevator, and the other side of it's the extractor, or part of the extractor. Part of the extractor. And you sit and scratch your head. How did some son of a bitch come up with this?
Probably just they probably came up with it just on the fly.
I mean, and you think, how did they come up with it in 1960 before there was all the computer drafting and shit like that?
Again, on the fly. Yeah, people yelling in the background.
If you take it back farther than that and look at Colt, old Colts or old Henrys, you're scratching your head thinking, how the fuck did they figure this shit out?
How did they figure out the Henry rifle?
Well, they took a volcanic pistol and copied it. It's how they figured the Henry out.
Yeah, I know.
But like Colt thought of the revolver looking at a fucking ship steering wheel. And you're like, how in the hell did some bitch get this at the time? Well, of course, Patterson wasn't all that great at that, but
Neither was the harmonica gun.
the later versions were good. I mean, though, I think the Walker's timed fine. And then, of course, the 51 was okay.
Yeah.
They created all this stuff, and initially it had to be done by hand. I mean, they simply didn't have CNC. And I mean, I worked for several days making a fucking firing pin out of a bolt with the damn drill and a Dremel and files.
Hmm.
And you look at the shit John Browning turned out before he got tied with Winchester, and you're like, how in the hell did he make this stuff this precise? I don't know, some of that stuff baffles me.
Yeah,
It's because I'm so damned impatient. I can't put that kind of time and thought into something.
yeah. Aussie out there is saying I had to send my son's Christmas gift back to Smith and Wesson for the recall. Hopefully, get it back before Christmas. But if they don't ship it out today, it's not going to get to you before Christmas.
What's the Smith and Wesson? What's the recall?
Yeah, which did you get him one of those EZs? Is that what that was? The M&P EZ? Was that what you got him, Aussie? Because those are the ones I know that are recalled right now.
I don't know. The last recall I really heard about was on this freaking Rossi 38 I got. I'm like, I ain't sending it back. I don't give a shit.
No, I covered it a few nights ago, but Smith and Wesson recalled the EZ, the M&P EZs. I think in 380.
9mm, he says. I don't even know what the hell the EZ is. That shows you how out of the loop I am.
Well, it's just another version of the M&P.
Dude, I'm still back in the friggin' SB9.
Well, you'll get there eventually.
No, I won't. The only reason I got the SB9 is because I won it.
I didn't say you'd buy it. I'd say you figured out what it would be eventually.
Shit, laying here on my desk, I still have the original SW9.
Now, do you have a Victory 9?
Do what?
Do you have a Victory? Smith & Wesson
No.
Victory? No?
I have the SW9BE and the SD9BE.
So you don't have a Model 10?
Nope. I have two Model 20. Let me rephrase that. I have a 29 and a 629. It's the only other Smiths I have, I think. I really don't give a shit about all the semi-automatic stuff. I absolutely don't.
Well, I was talking about a revolver earlier, but okay.
I want a couple to be able to carry because they're much easier to carry than big ass revolver. But beyond that, Now, my lady ever gets off her ass and decides to conceal carry, then we'll start browsing for something for her. Although I do have this LC380 here, but I carry it sometimes too. I actually surprisingly shoot it well. It's easier for me to shoot well than either of the Smiths I have. It really doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense because it's so much smaller, but that's just the way it is. Either of the Smith semi-autos, I should say.
Right.
Not the 44s. I can shoot them really well.
Oh, I believe that. So, I think I want to call it. Unless you want to go on.
I really got no reason to go. I was tossing out shit just to try to get something going, but
all of these. We've got Yesterday Pomade out there. We've got Aussie out there, and they're the only ones chipping in right now. So, I mean, I know people just turn this on and just listen to it during the day, and that's cool. I have no problems about that, but
Well,
I've kind of run out of things to talk about.
that's where I'm at. I haven't been paying attention to the gun community much. Yes, honestly, there's nothing I'm looking for.
And that's sad. It's sad you're not looking for anything.
Well, I have a couple guns, so I've got guns that I bought 3 or 4 years ago that I have yet to shoot.
You need to get on that.
I for sure I have two, because the 742 I got here I haven't shot, and that freaking single shot 223 I haven't shot. I probably won't shoot it either. I want to get it chambered in 22 250.
Yeah. Ozzy's out there saying my son got married a little over a year ago. I got the 9mm easy, so she would be able to control it. Yeah. Well, all right then.
Just tell the son to not be offended when it turns out she can shoot better than he can, because women just have
the luck
way of processing the act of shooting a gun that lends to them being better at it. My old lady, I shit you not, I handed her this SW9, the Sigma, and I told her, we would try to put the dime on the sight, on the front sight, and you get to practice trigger control doing that. Of course, the gun's unloaded. The first fucking time she tried it, she did it. Now, I'd tried it 30 or 40 times before I could do it. The first fucking time she handled that damn gun, she could balance that dime on the front sight and pull the trigger. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when I met her, she really liked shooting your guns anyway, so, you've got a lot of nice ones. So, I mean, those Vaqueros were really nice.
I haven't shot them in a year.
Yeah.
That's only because I don't want to clean them.
We got some comments out there on the site. KR says, overall, the gun community is fractured and ineffective. We are losing. Well, it's not just the gun community that's losing. I won't argue on the fracture part. William Trader's out there. He's saying prices for everything is a bit of a hindrance on buying or being excited about anything. Yeah. That and SHOT Show being canceled this year doesn't help either.
Are you buying all them, Mike? And if you are, do you want to adopt somebody?
Ozzy saying, my daughter's getting an M&P 380 easy. My granddaughter's getting a Glock 42 for Christmas. Wow.
I should have clarified that. Ozzy is Mike.
Yeah. I call him Ozzy. I'll also call him Mike every now and then too, but primarily just Ozzy. It's easier. But yeah.
What, Mike's one syllable, Ozzy's two?
Yeah.
I guess it's just 1, 2. No, it's 2.
No, I think it's just one.
How well my brain's working.
My brain's not working that well either. I need to go get some coffee.
Well,
so
you should never let yourself friggin' run out.
I know, right? I'm going to go buy an extra amount this time.
Just fucking went to Columbia last week.
I did not go to Columbia, okay? I might have gone to Charleston, but that's about it. But Mike's also saying he's making holsters for all. Well, good luck on that, Mike. We wish you luck.
He does good work.
That's what I've heard. He does good work.
I Actually, I do not invest any money in good holsters. I, with the exception of my cowboy rigs, they were expensive, but the holsters for carry, those bulldogs or cheap ass Uncle Mike's or whatever the fuck brand I got, they're fine.
Right. All right. With that, we guys, we will see you all probably on Friday. So with that, take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
I like that probably on Friday bit.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers on that one. Okay.
Might even start on time, but it's unlikely, at least if you look at the record.
Well, at least we're in the area of. Okay. We're in the area of. So with that, well, we'll see. We'll see you guys next. We'll see you on Friday. So
Great day, everybody. Have a good week.
take care, everyone. So also check out Ozzy's Instagram. He's got pictures of the holsters. All right, now how do I turn this damn thing off?
How the fuck am I supposed to know?